Howdy, folks. You're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. Wanted to give a quick shout out to KiloWhat, who does the artwork for our show. Amazing as always. Go check out her stuff. All the important links will be in the show description. And then I also wanted to point out that we have a Discord where all of us hang out, have a great time talking about all things nerdy, all things tabletop. There's something there for everyone. So come hang out with us. We can't wait to see you there. Let's get on with the show, shall we?
I love my jug.
Hello, my name is Jerry, and I'm the new personal assistant to the Bullywug. I have been hired to fill you in on the story so far, while the Bullywug is,
Quit looking at me! No, okay, you can keep looking at me.
inebriated beyond all measure.
Well, singing a song. Singing it.
Previously on this adventure, the party found themselves under attack from strange abyssal creatures that tore their way through the veil between worlds. They dispatched them thanks to a sweet banishment spell, and, well, we pick up right after they patch up the tear in reality. All that and more in these Demon Dayz. The blade stitches the rest of reality back together and goes dark, as it is now empty of it's empty of its vitality, and just as the thing starts to reach, like, it closes off.
Yusuf sees that it's about to close. He picks up his sword and just like holds it in front of him like a salute. It's like, fuck off. So that the guy can see him.
Yeah, and as he's reaching, I just kind of give him a wink over Fetter's shoulder, being like, yeah, I put you back there.
Ending the combat, but leaving your ears a little ringing just from the weird reality tear. The house is still agitated, but starting to calm down a little bit, because I'm assuming Taslinn hasn't stopped her singing necessarily.
It was broken in little bits, but no, I'm still humming. And then my banishment spell, kind of like a little mini tired supernova in my hand, just and then I'm just gonna like slump to the floor using Fetter's body to
there we go. Yeah, we both, I think, like butt to butt, we just kind of slide to the floor a little bit. All right, so at some point, along with all the other horse shit going on, we have to figure out why we are just fucking straight up homing beacons for this thing. Just full on. I feel like maybe we have to do like deep invasive probing of our bodies and souls.
Phrasing.
Sorry. No, but
As
like,
Yusuf slumps against the corner and keeps concentrating on his spell for the next 9 rounds.
yeah. So obviously, there's something in our heads or something in our spirits that's conjoined us to whatever the fuck this is. So
I think
Who can we ask? Like who?
I think it's more like something in our blood.
I mean, it's probably. I mean, they're hunting us, and they have our blood because they used it in the ritual. So I don't know how effective it's going to be to get them to get rid of it.
I'm just like petting the floor.
Yeah.
While I'm like, my head's leaning back against the back of Fetter's shoulder, just being like, yeah, I don't have good answers for you. I'm sorry.
And you notice that the viscera of the creature has not disappeared or faded away. It's just loose, messy viscera that Hoos hasn't been doing anything to, but there's ripples around it as if it's trying to figure out what this new essence is on it.
Yeah, I get it, buddy. I'm sure that's not tasty.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't consume it or allow any part of it. It rejects it.
I don't blame you.
I'll just like take the cane and like hoover it up. just like prestidigitate it out of the
Which, if you check your inventory,
it in there.
the prestidigimenticane is available to you.
Amazing.
The Mendicane.
And it's got some The note from Elamon has some specificity.
Yeah.
And he wrote the description out for the item for you.
Wonderful. The one thing I'll request, John, is can you put in, like if I wanted to use it as a striking weapon?
Oh, yeah.
Like what that, just so I can equip it.
Striking.
I think we said like a 1d6 maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably just like base,
Just like a
like club damage.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'll put that in there.
Because I might take it in my. I might just keep it in my offhand just for sexiness.
Just
like
whack.
It is sexy. At
it's
least
more that I just like. I just like the idea of fighting with it. Like the daggers are probably. It's one of those. I'm terrible at min-maxing. I don't know. Like I'm awful at it. I'm the worst at it. Like my dagger would probably do way more, but I'm like I just want to swing my cane at it. Like I just want to have like. It feels very like
It's a character choice.
Yeah, like Blaze Blue, like flipping a dagger in one hand with the cane in the other. Like
Oh, I could totally see you just like rapping somebody on the nose while you're.
oh yeah,
Stab
Cut
him
this
in,
guy,
stab him
whack
in the
that guy.
collarbone.
Yeah.
Whack him on the nose. Be like bad.
I'm very like Bloodborne. I like maybe that's why I never like it was like my first Soulsborne game, and I definitely was like, oh, I gotta have that whip cane, even though I probably should have just had like the standard build. I was like, I'm gonna do the hardest, weirdest dex build, and like no wonder I only ever got like 2/3 of the way through that game.
Instead of a sword cane, do we need to make you like a dagger cane?
Well, maybe just like at the end. I do like that the whip. The whip cane though is just so sexy.
it is very. As someone who did the whip cane for a little bit in Bloodborne, yes. So yeah, so there is this moment of respite. Not a lot of time has passed. Maybe an hour by this point. After it's all said and done, and you just had a moment to settle. There is still a light ringing in the ears, but that is almost just a result of all the unreality and shifting and veil problems that you guys had in this small space.
Jesus, at this point, by the time we go to bed, I'm gonna sleep half the day away. I know I'm sure we're all a little keyed up. Can we go to bed? Bedtime? Anything else?
I could sleep right here, and I don't need to sleep anymore.
Is there anything like? I guess we'll do like a cursory investigation, but it's like, is there anything new about any of this? We just know that it happens, but we just don't quite know how to keep us from being a conduit for it.
I feel like I would need access to a lot more libraries and books of various arcane knowledge, which Hoos does not have.
Sure.
This would be like a maybe the library back at our place, or even the library that Nax has at the carnival, and I did lots of searching, lots of searching.
Right. Okay. Fuck.
And yeah, even though the map was still bloodied, there's not like a clean version of it that I have at the moment.
Right.
But it's clean. Everything is clean, and Hoos is very accommodating to you guys for rest however you need it. There's only the one room, and then there's the office, but no matter where you place your bum or your head,
Right.
it's going to be comfortable and
Oh,
soft.
yeah. Into it. Hey,
And almost giving a little bit to your contours.
Yusuf. Yeah.
As he kind of takes a breath, you see the last of like the damage like seal up on him, and
Yeah,
he's finally
so-
back up to full.
Just because the act of closing these things takes a precipitous toll on us collectively. And I know that like certain of us of proper hellish lineage might be more complicated than others, but what would happen, say, if any of us were to die on the material plane? Do we know? I don't quite know.
You see
I never-
Yusuf kind of like look like do like the 1,000-yard stare. He's like, yeah, I've been worried about that since I came here. I have a
yeah.
feeling because I was not born on this plane, I'm technically not of it. So if I die, I may go back to the frozen wastes of
Sure.
Cania.
Feder,
Yeah.
were you born in Dis?
Here's the thing, I don't properly know.
Okay. So there's
I mean,
every reality that I could be the only one out of us that was born on this plane.
That's terrestrial, yeah. I feel like we've got all the choices, right?
Did your mother already have the boat that she lives on when you were born?
No, that was like there was a room in the tower that belonged to my mother, but it wasn't. I mean that kind of coding is much later. I think that comes from her experiences running away. So I mean, here's the thing: like, would have been like my parents would have been off the plane, theoretically running around before we all got called back. But I do not know if I was born here, or if I was born there, or somewhere in between. So
there's every possibility that you were conceived on this plane, but not necessarily born on this plane.
yeah, like it's, and I was conceived by someone who wasn't like it's
Complicated.
complicated. Hashtag complicated. Yeah. So hard to say. That said, listen, you guys know magic's not my forte, really. What are, like, so, let's say Yusuf turns into a pile of goo. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
But, like, what do we got, gang? Like, let's turn our pockets out. I feel like we got some health potions and things, but, like, what happens if, like, not, I mean, just, because at this point, let's rack up, like, the short list of people trying to kill us include House Temper, the Blackguard, various different versions of Bonham, I don't know, all of the Dominion. Yeah, like, so what's the, before we go, I mean...
Feder, do you tell him about the Cania symbol on the...
Oh, yeah, we did.
Okay.
Remember I carved it off the guy's hand and then, like, threw it at his feet at
Gotcha.
the end of the
Okay.
last...
Silly putty-esque.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I just drew a
Yeah,
blank on-
flayed piece of flesh there.
Gotcha. So then you're on track. Sorry.
I really think the lesson in this is just don't die.
Yeah.
I mean, best laid
Listen,
plans.
I deal in, like, redundancies and
Meerkat
insurance.
men.
It's a sad part of my whole vibe. So, like, I mean, I'm sure that there's probably some sort of weird family contract that I'm not even privy to, which could end up with my ass being immediately carted directly back to some sort of grow tank in the tower. Like that, I mean, but again, who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? Like, there's a fair number of secrets in my family that's kind of part of it, but...
Well, and at this point, who even knows? I could end up in the Shadow Realm again by the time I die. Who knows
I mean,
whether
you're not
the Raven Queen will,
wrong.
yank me. It could not fucking matter that I was born here in all reality. So let's not test this theory and just go to bed.
Right. I've got enough, like, residual anxiety from this whole day that I'm not going to be able to go to sleep unless we at least have, like, a rough conversation about what happens if one of us eats it. Does Eldath, do you got a magical tree-flavored defibrillator on you or something? Like, it's like...
But you're not, you're not going to like it. It literally, like, whittles its way in. I'm kidding.
Up the butt.
I have...
Up the butt.
I can try and commune with...
I do have the power. Like, I've felt it. I do have a power that I think can... It has to be done quickly, but I feel... And it's only just recently... Like, anytime something dies around us now, I feel like I have an option to change that, and it comes from the same thing that heals, but there's a material.
I was gonna say,
toll
Eldath's not giving that out for free, huh?
No, it is. I need time and earth. And
Like the herb, or do you need, like...
No, like actual.
Oh,
It feels like diamonds. I need some type of precious gem, and it leans toward diamonds. Like it is Eldath. It is the feeling of Eldath crushing the earth and the pressure over time, and like that is what, because it takes so long to do and it is such a high toll, I need that to give back.
Right.
In order to take time away from death, I need to give the time that has already been taken back. It's,
Is that really it, or is it because you're a diamond in the rough?
Is it like, feels like real, like, step on me, mommy, Eldath. You know.
I hate it here.
And right when you say that, like, who's just kind of like a pseudopod just licks the side of your face off of like a banister.
Thank you, Hoos.
All right, so what you're saying is we got to go buy some diamonds. Is what you're saying?
That's what I feel. I mean, like I said, I haven't done it yet, but
I'm
that's,
really fucking.
Or ransack the treasury that
I'm really
we have
fucking
back on
pissed.
the stronghold?
Yeah, it's like thousands of miles away and fucking a mile underground, and we've got like a whole room full of fucking diamonds. God damn it.
There is that portal ring in Fee's room.
Oh yeah, we can go back. Mm-hmm. Seems like we got a lot to do here. Lots, bring us diamonds. Well, anyway. All right, something to consider. I've got a small stipend of what's here. I'm sure we could at least go get one to have in our back pockets. Because I'm presuming you're going to go shopping tomorrow, right? Is that what we're...
I mean, if I want to wear anything other than what I'm currently wearing,
Which
yes.
is dashing, by the way. I'm just saying. Like,
But not necessarily something that
Yeah,
I
I
can
know.
show up to, a theater and a date.
sure. Yeah, whatever. All right, well, great.
Right.
And
Date.
then...
Right.
And then we got to figure out everything else. All right, great. Nighttime, sleeping. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, nothing that we can solve currently, so...
As part of the nighttime routine, where are you sleeping? There's a rough layout where there was that main entryway where you guys just fought the
I mean, we got the
Hezru. There's the kitchen. There's upstairs, which is just 2 rooms. There's like an office and then a bedroom.
I'd take the
You
office.
put
Zafan. I'll throw my Zafan family privilege out there and at least take the office and
okay.
offer it to.
So you're in the office upstairs. Your Furbolg guest victim is in the bed. I think you put her in the bed.
I did.
So she's there, but there's still a floor, and anywhere you rest will be comfortable.
Squishy.
Will be like a memory foam situation for your body.
Tongue.
So wherever, but I just need, for sake of things, I need to know where you are at in the house, and who's roughly. So you're upstairs.
I will probably sleep downstairs in the entryway if
Okay.
we can just make beds wherever. That way, if something does come through.
You're used to sleeping on the floor, though.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm choosing the floor. But if it's gonna try and make a bed, I'll just try and go for broke, and maybe the floor will stay the floor.
All right, and then Taslinn, office with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
And keeping in mind, you also don't
Might
need
as well.
I don't...
Might as well.
Well, because I don't need to sleep.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I took the ability for the Raven Queen to fuck with my dreams away, because now I don't sleep, so I don't need to dream. And I can't be forced into a magical sleep either. That was a big, fuck you, I'm tired of the shit.
There's also something you had in mind that you were going to try to do.
Yes, but that's all...
Is that crow still, or that raven still around? By the way, the one with the milky eyes.
And the fucked up face.
Well, it's been gradually healing.
Yeah.
Gradually, but very
Right. I just
slow.
didn't know if it was still around.
You don't see it in here, in the place, but outside it was just chilling off the perimeter, just right at the property edge.
It won't go away. It's just whether it's actually attached to me or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll be up in the office with Feder doing our stuff, maybe fucking before he goes to sleep.
Sounds
Get rid
good.
of the anxiety energy.
Most anxiety-ridden fuck.
Maybe some choking in there. Really choking on it. And when he's asleep, then I will hunker down, shifting through stuff. Maybe pull out that lovely Sword of Cass again. Be like, all right, let's have a discussion.
I've been waiting.
So, I'm sitting there with it and kind of it's still sort of wrapped in the cloak, but I've opened it a little bit, so it's just I'm on the floor cross-legged, and it's sitting on my lap, and I've just kind of like it's still in the sheath. It still is like laying on the cloak, but I've at least unwrapped it from the cloak, so that way it's a little bit easier to hear and talk to. And I'll just kind of say, like, have you discovered anything? Have we any ability to change things up so that way, it's a little bit more in each of our favors?
And since you haven't touched it, it's hard to hear anything specific. That first bit of voice was about it, but you do get a sense of an image in your mind of picking up the sword, and mentally wrestling with it. But you get the sense it's receptive to a meeting of the minds without any sort of detrimental effects.
Okay.
Like having to kill anyone nearby.
All right. Then I will...
Yeah, because that would be me.
I will then, with that image in mind, kind of look at it, look back at Fetter for a second, and then wrap my hand around the hilt, and I won't fully pull it out, but I'm gonna at least start drawing it.
And as you touch it, you get the sense the demand for the blood involved fully unsheathing it, as it was expecting something to happen. So having partially sheathed out, you're good already. And then you hear the voice fully come in. Shall we get on with it? And roll me 2 sets of percentiles. We're going to start with some good things. As it begins to entice you and bring in images, and you move out of your POV, almost third-personing yourself, as you see yourself with the sword, and then you just get inside your mind, and it is a swirl of dark color and cloud, as your will is now bartering with the sword. And you, off the periphery, as you're focused on the singular wisping dark cloud, there's visions of various users in the past, and POVs, and people holding swords, and you even see the Raven Queen holding it at some point. But it's very out of focus. You just know the Raven Queen's form and shape from what, like, oh, I see that, but you're focused. So for the first, what did you roll in the percentile?
53.
53. A vision appears before you in which you are in combat. You're fighting formless beings. It's hard to get a sense of place. You see yourself locked in combat, and you cast something as a part of an action. And what this amounts to is, while attuned to the artifact, you can use an action to cast one cantrip chosen by the DM from it. And
An action to cast a cantrip? That seems like a waste.
So maybe,
okay.
but it's a you get the sense that this is a minor beneficial property. And it's like, we'll get back to what the cantrip is. Roll a percentile again, as you sense a much more heftier boon coming your way.
71.
Okay. Similar in combat, you see, again, you're casting a type of a spell, and this one seems to be higher than normal, a 4th level. While attuned, you can use an action to cast one 4th level. Sorry, not 4th level, 6th level. And chosen by the DM again, so we'll have to...
Yeah.
We'll get there in a second.
Yeah.
And then after you cast the spell, you'll roll a d6. On a roll of 1 to 5, you can't cast it again until the next dawn. Essentially, you have an extra cantrip at your disposal and a 6th level spell at your disposal. And what do you have cantrip-wise?
My cantrips currently are... I have Blade Ward, Eldritch Blast, obviously, Firebolt, Green Flame Blade, Lightning Lure, Prestidigitation, and Toll of the Dead.
And Toll of the Dead? You get a spare the dying.
Oh, okay.
As your cantrip, you see the energy of kneeling over someone and stabilizing them. This vision, again, you can't see who you're doing it to. You're the only one in clear view. Everything else is in shadow and rough, hazy context. And you are applying that cantrip to them. And then, for the 6th level spell...
Honestly, I'm just trying to make the sword better. Instead of it being random willy-nilly.
I can fix him.
We're gonna do great things together.
Destroy. Shout out to the Trap, who's the only person taking my offer to send us random shit on the non-safe for work Discord while we're recording.
I saw that, and I didn't actually look at what they sent.
Trap, I'm gonna go ahead and just, by the power vested in me by the Demon Days podcast, you're getting advantage one time. I'm giving you inspiration in your next game, whether your DM believes in it or not, for sending us just random smut in the middle of a record. So
wow, Bowser.
Bless you.
Oh yeah.
That's something I didn't realize I would enjoy.
Yep. Ta-da. So
I appreciate the one that it's like smashed against the window. I could see that being like
Don't hate it.
Peering in a house, being like,
Can Hoos have a glass-walled shower with 2 heads?
Oh boy.
Globe of Invulnerability.
Whoa.
okay.
Fuck.
As
Well, we don't have to worry about Taz going down. It's just going to be me. Just going to be good old Feder. He's going to fucking eat one that,
And then, for those, as before, you sense that the cast communicates limits to this, that there is a chance that this cannot be used again until the next dawn, I think I said. And then, for a while, it's just cloud and smoke and dark ichor that forms around as you're in this entreaty. And then he says, "But in trade." And you see visions of yourself saying something like a shifting of alliances, a shifting of mentality of things, an alignment, if you will. You sense a sense of shifting how you feel about things. As, while you're attuned, you determine your alignment daily at dawn by rolling a d6. 1 to 2 indicates good, 3 to 4 neutral, and 5 to 6 evil.
Well, that should be interesting.
Oh, boy.
And then the final thing seems lesser than that particular bit. You see, or maybe it depends, as you're walking along, a spirit of some kind, a ghostly form, that you are in conversation with. And there are others around that flit in and out of your conversation, and you speak naturally with them, as if they were there. And a flaw of yours is accentuated. You can talk to spirits and ghosts. This is the deal presented.
Okay. Interesting. The talking to spirits. I mean, I always talk to dead that aren't there, but it'll be interesting actually talking to dead.
And you get the sense that there is conversation. There is it's not a one-way street anymore.
I hope it's like the TV show Ghosts, where they just show up and start bugging you about stuff.
And okay.
It's the 4th of July. Are we going to have fireworks?
This changing of alignment, this viewpoints of good and evil and the middle road. It seems like my chaotic spirit tends to stay the same. Are we in agreement there?
Yes.
Okay.
The chaos is acceptable. But where you aim it is my interest.
I can accept this.
Seal with some blood.
God.
As the clouds start to just form into a storm in your vision, you are in your mind. You're not seeing yourself in POV right now. You're see a storm of a tumult of cloud and darkness that slowly you see yourself with the sword in hand, and it has accepted that you may need to pull the sword out and seal with some of your blood, and it'll be sufficient.
Okay, and I, in effect, as the mind, and the swirling blackness, this is kind of what I'm saying, the swirling blackness kind of, encases and then settles on me and absorbs, and outside I'm actually pulling the blade all the way out, and then taking it and
Cutting your palm!
not cutting the palm this time.
Yeah.
I will actually cut it from like my right shoulder collarbone and kind of down to the left breast. Very shallow, just enough to draw blood, so
Okay.
it'll heal, but it's a good cut.
There is a long, drawn-out sigh, gravelly sigh of satisfaction, as the scar from the cut is there, but no blood emerges, as that part is healed off, and the blood was taken immediately upon cut. Take about 5 HP off of that.
Okay.
And it is a visible scar. This is a testament to your contract with the sword.
Joke's on you, bitch. Those were temporary hit points.
That's true. I do still have the temporary hit points.
Oh yeah, when do those reset? Oh, they already they reset already.
It's the spell was for 8 hours, so if we get woken up in the middle of the night, you should still have them.
They reset on fuck. But yeah, so now the voice quiets, as in, as you were, and fades off as it is reveling in this new means of coming to an agreement and enjoying what it has tasted.
And clicking hex weapon.
Boy.
And if you want to roll an Arcana on this, go ahead for
Okay.
a little bit of an Arcana-based insight on this.
That is an 18.
An 18? As the voice of this sword quiets, you do hear, not so much hear, but remember in the back of your mind, a rueful conversation between you and the Raven Queen, in which she mentions that eventually things will come to payment in a way of like, this will eventually lead you down to a path. That this relationship is a part of the attuning to it, but there may be a time later where you have to reconcile with the sword has its own agenda. And that warning from the Raven Queen does kind of flit in the back of your mind and skirt away.
Yep.
As in, this is a powerful thing that there will still be more cost down the road.
And tends to get power hungry.
Yes. And that it might be amplified a little bit if you tend towards the evil on your alignment. So keep that in mind. That entreaty with the sword does take quite a long part of the evening's rest. We see the morning come, and did you ever go back down, lie down to sleep, or are you still up and just kind of moving about as they wake up?
Oh, well, my sleep now is just kind of doing very little activity, whether it's, sitting on the floor and meditating, drawing, writing, reading, whatever.
Okay. But do you, give up consciousness for a little bit as part of this long rest, or are you still somewhat alert? I guess is what I'm...
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, yeah, sure. I'll choose to actually go to sleep for a small period of time.
And for the next hour, we're going to start talking about the visions. No, just kidding. That's it. No, your rest
Here
is
for it.
Your rest is a peaceful one,
It's all content.
and it's a very quiet, noticeably devoid of any dreams, visions, or things like that. It is a deep and rested sleep. And as you all come to, it's roughly around the 9, 10-ish, probably closer to 11 range. As you start waking up, you do hear footfalls, gentle footfalls, wandering around downstairs. Just a couple clacking of dishes, or more like as the dishes aren't actually accurate to how they sound. But someone is exploring downstairs. If you want to check out who it might be, there's some pretty good guesses you guys can make.
I'm
It's very
still down
gentle,
there,
very
so-
gentle furtive falls. You might not have woken up to it, but you do see the Furbolg woman walking around, just checking out the place, a little confused, a little bit unsure of what's going on, probably forgetful of the night before. Just like, what is this? Picks up a dish, drops it, and just thump, and it doesn't make a clank. Hits a couple dishes together like they might break, but they don't. They just kind of hit. What is going on here?
Okay.
Where the fuck? She vaguely recognizes you, but like she looks over, just sees if you're awake. I don't see. And she's doing a circuit around the place, just trying to figure out where she is. As you guys wake up.
Hello. How are you?
Well, so far, I am unchanged. I managed to roll enough to stay neutral.
Nice.
So far, nothing has shifted. So,
Yeah.
Wake up, press the digicane under the pits. Hey. Okay. Morning, all.
feeling better.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Oh, good. So, Who's do you have? There's gotta be coffee in here somewhere, right? I've got a little bit left.
I don't know if I would want to drink coffee created by Hoos.
I'll live a little.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Okay, so I'll get the fire going and get some coffee going and.
Sure.
Oh hi! Oh, you're standing around.
Oh God! I'm so sorry. It seems to be that she doesn't remember a whole lot just in the immediate upon waking up. So she's unsure of you guys. So she backs up to the corner, like,
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Hey.
What's going on?
Good morning.
I'm sorry if I broke in.
You did not.
Oh, you certainly did
You
not.
definitely did not break in.
I'm sorry. I'm at a bit of a disadvantage here. What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, I am Yusuf Green Knight. We happened upon you last night after being attacked.
I think Feder rolled his eyes at just a little bit at Green Knight, just like a tiny bit. Hi, Feder. Yeah. Hey,
Hi.
I don't know what you remember, but man, there was some folks out trying to fucking kill your ass. Like we saw you flying around a couple days ago. We're like, oh look, she's flying around. But like someone last night tried to fucking off you. So you're welcome.
There is a look of recognition, and she puts a hand to her.
Yep.
Where her eye was.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Oh no.
But Yusuf here
Oh no.
got a good catcher's mitt and was able to kind of get you back up on your feet. So you're welcome.
Well, at least conscious anyway.
Thank you. I'm so, my name is Kiki. I kind of haunt some of these areas.
Haunt.
Well,
Interesting choice of words.
Did you see the broom?
A bit of a voyeuristic sort of person myself. I like watching people.
Interesting.
I did see. I think. Wait a minute. History check. Nope. No. I saw people kind of looked like you guys coming down from the Neo.
No, couldn't have been us.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, we came in the other way around. Kickers. So, do you? What I mean, so what's your business other than peeping on people? Which is, there's a time and a place for that, I'm sure.
I mean, I try to dabble in some magic. I grab all the books I can and, practice.
Right. So
I've got some magical affinity, but I'm just kind of.
right. Not to jump right to the point here. Have some. You want coffee, tea? When do you want?
Yeah. The coffee thing you mentioned,
Yeah.
whatever that is. Yeah.
Bean water.
Yeah.
Bean water.
So, yeah, a little sugar probably. I'm guessing maybe for you.
Yeah, just a lot. A lot of sugar is good.
Yeah, you seem the type. No offense to that, but hey, not to put too fine a point on it, but if say I were an assassin in the employ of a powerful lord of the Nine Hells, why would I want to murder you?
Gosh.
Have a good think. Not necessarily the first thing comes out of your head. That might be the best, but like, sit, ruminate on it. Because you seem, no offense, but you seem mildly oblivious. but there's definitely some pretty mean motherfuckers who were more than happy to give you a pair of very pointy sunglasses last night.
Well, I remember clocking some mean people in my kind of flyabout. I noticed some weird activity and noticed it was a group of four horned individuals. Let me see. I'm sorry, bear with me. I'm still catching up. I'm catching up.
Horns like these?
Yeah, kind of.
Yusuf points to his head.
They had more of a stature, kind of like you. Yusuf, was it?
Indeed.
Kiki pauses a moment to collect her thoughts and try to collect the memory. They walked a certain way that was very kind of in unison. So I got curious, as I do, and followed them. One had kind of this, like, seemed kind of tall, some faded red skin, and he had this heavy black armor, but had this like insignia on. I tried to get a closer look because I was very curious about that. I couldn't quite see what it was. Didn't have very big horns. They kind of protruded from the head, and he seemed like the leader of them. There was another one who was rather tall, very thin, and kind of had a look, kind of had like a suit thing going on, like a dress, a button-up shirt and slacks, kind of like you, Feder, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he looked fairly nice, but he had a slinkiness to him. And then there were two ladies who, one had a reddish pink skin, another one blood red skin, and they seemed to walk in tandem with each other. They looked fairly alike, and just had a very mean look about them. And so naturally I started to follow them, and, well, I noticed them starting to, like, they would grab some randoms off the street, some random people, ruffians. There's a few of those kind of in this area, and I try to keep tabs on them too in case they're doing anything untoward to other people, and practice my magic on them. But they were taking someone and kind of putting their hand on their head and saying something, and then these other people were walking with them. And I think the big one, the leader, saw me, and I fled and got out there, and I was kind of the end of it for a while, and then they must have noticed me, which, not being very secretive. Stealth is not really my bag. I imagine it was whoever, one of them maybe, that saw me and sent someone after me. I swear I'm not like wrapped up in anything big. I just kind of was a bit nosy.
I see. John, do any of these descriptions sound familiar to me?
Roll a history check. And while you're rolling the history check, Taslinn, you're down here with them as she's talking.
Nope. It's a 5.
5. It's hard to say. There's all sorts of special units that travel around, and
Yeah, I'm like leaning against the doorway.
if you want to roll a history, but a very low DC, but you recognize her. There's a thought of recognition.
4.
4.
Nope, I lied. You don't.
Well, the DC wasn't that low. There is a nagging feeling in the back of your mind that you've seen her from somewhere, and it's hard to tell where. And she keeps talking. Yeah, sorry for any trouble I've caused.
I'm gonna go ahead and do
Insight?
an ear for deceit.
Oh, and
Which is insight, yes. Just to see, like, her, like, oh, I saw some random people. They were so random. That's a 25 to see if she knew more about this than...
she only rolled a 20. She is telling the truth if she's downplaying a bit her nosiness. Very nosy. There's a little bit of youth to her on that front, but very nosy, and has a hard time being cautious about it.
Right.
So that part's a bit sheepish, trying to hide it, and you guys don't necessarily notice it so much, but you're seeing through that, like, yes, no, she's being honest. She made a very bad decision.
Yeah. Hey, kickers. I can't help but get the sense that you really do like to kind of poke around and know all the ins and outs of the city.
Yeah.
I mean, appreciate that in some ways, but you've obviously, in this instance, and I'm sure probably before, if past is prologue, run afoul of some very nasty people here. Like
Yeah.
They may not accept your ocular removal as a fair penance for what they see as, you've now told people who, unbeknownst to you, may have business with them. And you've put yourself in a great deal of harm here.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yusuf's just kind of staring off, not really saying anything. Seems deep in thought.
Yeah, no, I've really stepped in it. Gosh.
Here's... I flash a look at the other two. You know what? Here's what we can do.
She takes her now broken spectacles and just kind of tries to like
Here, let me
adjust some tape on them.
let me try.
Since it's
I'm gonna try to. This is the first go at this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to tap her glasses and fix them with the mending cane. Which,
Okay.
if I'm reading this correctly,
prestidigitating
has a 50% chance of failure.
Yeah.
and wrecking them more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hardly a reliable spell.
She gives you the glasses like, okay. Also a point against her, a bit trusting, like, oh, okay. If you can fix them, yeah.
Oh, that's a 10.
Since it's been
Sweet.
nagging me,
A 10 on the percentile?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? You crack it more as you.
Well, shit.
You say press to Mendy
you
the
go
glasses.
high? Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, and I definitely mutter
go
that.
over the 50, yeah.
I don't particularly think the code word is particularly fun, so I kind of
It's-
mutter it to myself.
It's not fun, but it's Elamon.
Yeah.
That's actually the new tagline.
Right,
It's
well,
not fun. It's Elamon.
Anyone, anyone do something with these? Yusuf, you fix these.
Oh, what?
What?
Here.
Look at it.
I mean,
like,
I'm fine. I can see out of it a little bit.
Well, you're gonna need
good.
you're gonna need to see for this next bit. And I just immediately the folio
stab
is
her in the
out.
face.
oh god, contract. Since it's nagging me, I did another history check and
Okay.
I got a 12 this time
A 12.
because I don't let shit like that keep nagging me and let it
You.
I can't make new lenses here.
And she's kind of reaching for it and just kind of reaching out, and just for some reason the way she's reaching out, the look on her face of hey, can I have that? What are you doing with that?
I give them back to her.
You've seen her in bed with a certain father of yours.
I just
She's reaching forward, just thank you, and puts him on, kind of
Wait, father or daddy?
No, father. It was a scry.
thank you. I'm fine. I don't
Listen,
I can,
listen.
I can see. Yeah.
Listen. So just so that we put ourselves in kind of a very fair relationship here, and we don't feel that one party is taking any undue advantage of the other. Let's put pen to paper really quick. You can stay here as long as you'd like under the complete protection and auspices of this house. In my family, the Zavon family, just for your own protection, and in return,
Yusuf finally blinks and realizes what's happening.
you promise, right, not to mention that you've seen any of us, right,
Okay.
or what we look like, or our names. Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
So
That
you can
doesn't
stay
count-
here without any penalties.
But what about when you detect thoughts on somebody and you really dig deep? I mean, I can clear it out of my head, but not
try
out of
to
my heart.
just okay. And in return, you can stay here. We'll help you out. We're gonna try to find these people that want to kill you. We've already saved you once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be fair. So, and it's just here's the thing. Sometimes you have a friend over. You say, hey, can I stay on your couch a couple nights? And then that turns into a month. It turns into 2 months. Everyone gets really annoyed with each other. We're just trying to get out ahead of it, right? And we're just gonna put some terms on this thing. So, just you do us a favor, just because it seems like. Listen, you've got big eyes. I appreciate that. You probably know the city better than anyone. We're gonna ask you a bunch of questions about stuff as we find it, and we're gonna count on you to know things. And in return, you're just you never saw us. You found this big, nice, empty house, right?
Yeah.
You got a chance to stay here and recuperate.
Don't suppose this thing you're telling me, this contract, has something for teaching me how to do better magic? Nah, probably not.
We could probably work on that. Let's start this, and then what we can do is I'll add a clause here at the bottom. if things go well, right? If
Taz is just shaking her head.
If things go well, let's say if you can make it a fortnight, right? Without telling anyone who we are, we can start to work on maybe upping that magic of yours. How's that sound?
I mean, that is a better deal than I've got so far.
Wonderful. Here, just
I would like to look it over, though. I mean, she adjusts her glasses really nerdy like.
Hey, you know what?
I'd like to look at it.
Yeah, take your time.
And you've already written it?
Yeah, this is boilerplate stuff.
Oh.
You know what I mean? My family does this all the time. Listen, you've stumbled into. You're welcome. Like an organization that's here, that has its eyes and ears all over the place, that is here to help and protect and serve good people across the Dominion.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome. The House of Savon, here to help.
Yeah, she's taking it all in.
Yeah.
And it's taking her a moment. Like, I mean, it sounds promising.
I mean, here's the thing though, don't read too long. I mean, that fortnight for getting you some brand new magic starts pretty much as soon as you put pen to paper, so.
I mean, you have to account for the detect thoughts thing though.
Oh, we can figure that out.
Because I'm not I can only fight against it so much.
Who's trying to get in your brain? Kiki, does that happen to you often?
No, but
I mean, it's fair. You're looking at all angles, and I appreciate that.
But you know what? It's weird. It's weird. There's every now and then, there's like a sensor that shows up, and it's kind of weird. It's like it's sitting in the room there, and I don't know what it is, and I think I might be watched. I don't know.
When's that happen? Is that happening right now? And I immediately look around the room for a sensor.
No, nothing's here. Nothing's here. It's usually...
As he's looking around the room, Taslinn just looks at him.
Yeah. She's staring. She's staring at you, just Taslinn's.
What? She's giving him the look like, the sensor's me, idiot.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, nasty people all about. You can never tell who's looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's... Always at such weird times.
For your protection, look this over again. Be thorough. Do what you want. But this house and us and the whole family will have your back the second you put pen to paper on that, okay?
I like that. She starts to take it. Is this house alive?
Yeah, a little bit.
So
that only benefits you, right?
That's so cool.
Because, you sign this paper and you and house are friends.
Friends.
But I mean, no pressure. Yeah. No pressure. Look it over.
Yeah, I'll look it over. I'll take a look at it. And
there's definitely a clause in that contract that if she runs her mouth, that this house will eat her alive.
Yeah.
100% turn on her in a second.
Is there a clause in there about visitors too?
Like visitors for her or like...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know what your recollection brought up because you haven't told us yet.
Taslinn, she's... Every now and then, as he's been giving her this contract and she's been looking around, she's still very cautious. But every so often, she keeps her eyes, she darts her eyes in your direction as if a sort of there's something about you. And I'm rolling really low at the moment, so she's kind of on the same journey as you, but very far behind, what is...
Am I rolling anything for this, John? You want
Go ahead.
You want...
Yeah, I mean...
Persuasion and deception for me. Exactly the same stat. Hey, how about that?
Yeah, you know what?
For me, bullshit is like breathing.
Oh, yeah, that's 14 on the die, which is 22. 22.
Persuasion, and deception are the same for me.
You get a sense that she thinks she recognizes Taslinn, but not in the sense of, I know Taslinn. There's just some familiarity in the way that she's standing that's just
Yeah. Yeah, no. Come on, out and think it through. There's nothing more. You listen.
Don't know her biblically, but
what?
No, she didn't fuck her dad. The person that she saw
what?
fucked her dad.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. No. But here, part of being new friends, part of being new friends is I see that light in your eye. I see that the gears are turning, right?
Yeah.
So what do we talk it out? What do we think?
And she starts to. Well, I mean, you look familiar.
I get that a lot.
But I don't know. It's just something. The way you're standing right now reminds me of someone is all. That's all. That's all. That's all. She's kind of, she's going down a memory that she's just like,
Sure. And just so you're aware, we just got to town, right? Like, it's only because of the of the hospitality of my family that we have a place to stay, and here we are. And here we are, thankfully, to help you. You know what I mean? So you help us back. It's all good.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
In my journal, I just open it up really quick. But no, you look that over.
Yeah, and she starts to look it over, and she just kind of sits down, and the part of the place that she's sitting, like maybe one of the barrels, just kind of rises to meet her and gently let her sit.
Yeah.
I guess that she's just looking it over, and she hunches her knees up, and folds her arms around it, and just has unraveled this contract and start looking at. But always, every now and then, just looking in Taslinn's direction, like, what is going on? Let's see. Nope.
So I write Kiki under 7-Eleven, under the 7 Deadly Sins one. I write Kiki, and then I write nosy bitch? Question. Does that count? And we're gonna find out.
Oh, you're asking?
Oh yeah, I just in the I am at on the contract page for 7-Eleven that I've got house and the elf lady from the hotel. I'm trying to get Kiki too, and trying to just see if they'll fit her into one of the 7 deadly sins. I'm not sure which one it would be. Maybe envy. I'm like envy.
Also, do a history check, because some of this also applies to us having gaps in our recording, like time. That there's also one more assignment that you were given that might also apply to this too.
Oh boy, 17 plus
17?
history becomes dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Something to do with a mage trying to develop a magical entryway into Sky Point.
Oh, the one for... But that's Trost, I thought. Banner benefit, not safe house. Oh, rally the Resplendent. The MP is home to 2 very powerful all its mages. One of which is Galotha the Resplendent.
Because I thought I made one, and I'm going to double check too, where it was like Bonham, replace Bonham with somebody.
Oh, you
that
did.
Can be completely 100% under our thumb.
You're right, you did. Oh.
And especially as she's like looking over the contract, poring over it, you do see a bright, like in your passive, you see there's a brightness to her that is untamed and just immature. Her issue is that she's immature.
Right, but she might be a candidate for that.
And the fact that she's already thinking in contract terms of like detect thoughts, how does that apply?
Right.
There's some raw brightness,
Sure.
bright spots in there, so that triggers that memory for you. So that could be both. So you might try to play the 2 different kinds of contracts and see what you can do.
And what I'll do is because it was mostly just to make sure she didn't fuck up. And now I'm like, if I can see that, I was thinking about.
Oh yeah.
The detect thoughts things is like, poof. And I'm gonna put pretty much an exclusivity clause in her contract that as far as any other station that she takes that her initial and first essentially it's we're in first position. You know what I mean? Like the House of Zafan is
Right of first refusal.
Yeah, it's right of first refusal. And any of those that she takes, she will be acting as an agent of the house.
Yeah, and I only bring up the detect thoughts thing just because I'm still trying to work on. I'm self-taught with a lot of magic stuff, so I'm just not. I have to learn the mental fortitude to block some of that stuff out.
No, we'll get you there. Yeah, we'll get you.
And I just, my father was very powerful wizard and all that. And not with us. I'm sorry.
I hear that runs in the family.
Yeah.
Well, it's about time you got some people that'll properly look after you. Make sure you don't get shot randomly in the street.
Yeah. No, that's. Don't like that. Don't suppose my broom made it, did it?
Oh, we got the broom. Yeah, we got the broom.
I'm
looking at everyone else. I'm like, we got the fucking broom, right?
Not that would. I mean, I'd have to
Oh yeah,
it.
let me. I'll go check on that. And
Okay.
I walk away.
Okay.
We did bring her broom, right?
I thought so.
Yeah. You probably did. I'm guessing you did. It's just.
So I'm gonna go find.
I know that I didn't because I was really keyed out.
I'm gonna go find her broom, which I'm gonna assume Yusuf just put by the front door.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step outside so they can't hear it, and then I am going. I'll probably have to do a strength check for this, but I am going to
break the broom.
Break it over my knee.
Well, it was already broken when she landed. Like she crashed.
Oh yeah.
So it's broken already. So you can break it again. It's a lower DC. So yeah. Go ahead.
I'll break it. I'll break it into even more parts.
as the memory of.
Oh, I'm really incised because, oh boy, that was a 19 on the die, so 19.
Oh yeah. How do you break it? Like, how do you want to do this against an uninsentient broom?
Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to break it over the knee since it was already broken. I'm just going to take the pieces and I'm just going to like bang them and beat them on the ground until it's just like as shattered as it can be. And then I'll pick it up all together and I'll bring it back in the room and be like, I'm so sorry. And I'll just lay it in pieces at her feet.
She does. There is a moment of sadness in her eyes as she sees that it didn't survive. Well, there you have it. Taslinn renegotiated a somewhat better deal with the Sword of Cass and found out that this Kiki person has been quite horizontal with her dad. All in all, a very strange series of events for this party.
I'm marching down the forest way.
Oh,
I'm drunk.
There's the bullywug stumbling out of the bar and removing his clothes. Oh, sorry, I've got work to do. We'll be back, I'm sure, to tell you more about these demon days.
Just choking on my own spit, folks.
That'll happen. That COVID afterlife.
A very specific subset of listeners like, oh yeah, choking.
Choke on it.
We're talking about your own
Subset.
conception, and there's
Actually, that person is me as I'm recording. I'm like, oh yeah, choke.
choke on it.
Editing with one hand, everybody. Woo!
You just look. There's plenty of people that would, given the option, would make Feder choke. That's all I'm saying. Just putting it out
I
there.
think Fetter's one of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because whenever something has...
Out. Yeah, didn't think so. Be quiet, please.
Back what you were saying up a little bit.
All right, bedroom. Go on.
I missed the
Kobold
kobold.
is being banished.
Did not roll save against it.
I do... Damn all of you. Shut up. Oh, God.
Okay, so for this bedtime routine, where
Now we're all choking on it.
Okay, I'm good. Sorry.
all right, this is gonna be so great in the edit.
Welcome to my last 3 weeks in the sound booth.